Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today we got a special treat for you because for the first time ever, we have access to GSL replays that we are allowed to cast. Up here in the top left side of the map, we've got Byun here in the final deciding match of the round of 16 Group A. Down in the bottom right side, we have DongRaeGu. And I'm not sure if I'm going to cast too many of these matches, as just like any other tournament, there are a lot of one-sided matches where the favorites kind of cleave through their opponents, especially in the earlier rounds. But this was recommended to me as a banger of a match, and one which I only glimpsed a tiny bit of live. So I don't know too much of what happens in the series, but it looked like it was an exciting one. I'd heard a few people talking about it as a fun match as well. And I figured, hey, for our first foray into it, let's do it. Now, if you guys want to get your own hands on the GSL replays, they've got a Patreon they put up. It is $30 a month to hit the tier that gets you access to these replays. But you can check that one out over, they've posted about on their community posts on the Africa TV Global, I believe is what the YouTube channel is called. You guys can find it. You can give it a search. But yeah, these replays are kind of publicly accessible, which is cool if you do pay that for it. And it's just kind of weird because after many years and, being able to cast GSL replays is cool. On the other hand, GSL is not necessarily as important this year as it's been in previous years. There's a much diminished prize pool, and some have even been calling it a glorified qualifier, simply to see who's going to be getting into events like Yenshiping, the upcoming ESL Masters tournament, of which that and Atlanta will be the two main circuit events this year. Yenshiping in Sweden will be in June, and Atlanta will be in November, I believe. Or maybe it's December, sometime towards the end of the year. Now, this is a double Rax Reaper opening for Byun. DRG is going to see it. Does he save his lava and not build Zerglings? Thinking it might be CC first. Well, he sees the barracks before the pool's done, so no worries. He's definitely going to be building those Zerglings as quickly as possible. And the Overlord's going to come in, confirm the command center's going down behind it, and then that normally drops about 220, 210, I guess. And there we go, sees all of that. I like the drone sneaking out, so he might not start the hatchery straight away, but he definitely wants to get it started at some point before the Reapers have him contained. Good pullback on the first drone that gets targeted. Second one gets bounced away, and DRG just pulling back these weak Zerglings, letting them regenerate. Remember, Zerglings have very low overall hit points, so they actually regenerate pretty darn quickly. And good handling so far. For those who don't know, DRG, DongRaeGu is one of the most famous players in the earlier years of StarCraft 2. About a year and a half into Wings of Liberty, he became one of the best Zergs in the game. But, oh, bit of a mistake there, guys. He loses a drone. I mean, a Spore Trick's not too bad, but losing a drone is definitely problematic. Creep Tumor will connect his bases. He's got a third Queen on the way. Third hatchery's building. And it is just 3 Reapers. I feel like Byun always only goes 3 Reapers these days. Oh, that's a very juicy snipe. Getting a Creep Tumor is massive. That stops those queens from being able to move up into the main. So he jukes towards the main base, changes attack, comes in from the natural again. Nice grenade there. Going after these drones. Oh, he gets another. Gets in, gets out, says, see ya, don't want to be ya. And very well played. Tech Lab and Reactor is on the outside of the wall. That's very vulnerable to Banelings or Zerglings surrounding these and focusing them down. He's going to go 4 barracks behind it to make sure he has a lot of Marines, and probably we'll see him commit to a giant Marine push. Usually no add-on on the 4th barracks. It's just going to be, shields on that Tech Lab, and then 4 Marines building at a time. Shields doesn't take as long as Stim, so as long as he starts it in the next 10 seconds, it should line up pretty well with that. Depot's building behind it. DRG is trying to drone up. He's finally got a worker lead here. 31 workers versus 28. It's not a large one, but he's getting creep spread out now. He's got that going. His injects are pretty good. His natural's fully saturated, which is fantastic. We should see him putting back on gas steadily. He's only got 1 on gas right now. Oh, has to do an extractor trick and a spore trick to save these workers, but that ain't going to last long. It's only got so many hit points. It does start with a few extra hit points. Sorry, that egg was blocking that hit point bar. Spore crawler, nice, cancels. But he pulls everything down to the... Oh, no, bad move. DRG should have left his lings up here and just sent the queens or vice versa. You don't want to send everything to the same side. And he does it again. Exact same mistake again. DRG, get your lings back on the high ground, mate. Oh, unfortunate mistakes here for DongRaeGu. And Byun is just being an absolute menace. Gosh, I mean, DRG's got amazing spore tricks. For anyone else, this would have been a lot worse. DRG's very quick, but... Oh, he loses another drone. And Byun goes after that red point drone. Does not get it. Ends up losing those Reapers. But at what cost? 4 drones. I mean, DRG's taking big damage. And he's going double Evo against a Marine push out. And he has no vision. Stim and Shields are both finishing. Stim's done. Shields is done in about 20 seconds. And he's going to be there in 20 seconds. DRG is blind on this map right now. He's got a Zergling up here. Oh, man. He's going to be spotting the third. He sees a Marine. He sees Marines moving out. He's got to realize now, uh-oh, I've just built double Evo and mass drone. Oh, no. His Lings are going to run forward and see the army. He's dead. I don't think he can hold this, guys. This is going to be so hard. He's got like 1 transfuse across all of his queens. Total of 6 queens, 9 Zerglings. That is a good 17 Marines with stim and shields. And they are about to ruin his day. Focusing down the queens. They started back to take down the Zerglings, the much higher damage units, and then they go back to work on those queens. Drones being pulled off the line. I think DRG needed to pull back behind the hatchery. Against this sort of build, you've got to be pulling back as far as possible to buy time, because you know you're going to take damage, but you've got to just minimize it. Ring around the rosy, try to delay. But this is too much damage. I mean, he was in a bad spot. I think DRG standing out front like he did rather than pulling behind the hatchery to buy valuable seconds was a problem. You want to sync up drones, Zerglings, and the queens all to surround at once. It's easier said than done. I'm pointing out what he needed to do to basically make an impossible situation maybe possible. It was still going to be dicey. Oh, any Zerglings going down is a problem right now. 1-1 upgrades are on the way for DRG. He made 23 Zergs. He's going to go after the reactor. I do like that move, seeing if he can find something. 3 Marines behind the wall. It's still worth getting that reactor. 3 Marines is not enough damage to dissuade that. Now there's 5 Marines. That's where I'd probably be a bit more afraid, as they can start 2-shotting those Zerglings. No +1 finish just yet. Looks like the 1-1 upgrades are slightly ahead for DRG. And third command center is coming in. Those 4 barracks going single medevac and tank building at a time. Oh, this 4th hatchery is just sticking out in the middle of nowhere. I think DRG needs to focus on expanding along the flanks of this map. But look at that Marine positioning. Oh, this is a slaughterhouse. I think DRG might just like consider tapping, because this damage is out of control. He's got 4 queens, make it 3. He's still losing more units. His Zerglings will hunt down these Marines, but look, there's another push coming. The medevac can load up the 2 tanks. He's going to have, what is this, about 15 Marines plus these 6 that survive. 21 Marines, 2 tanks. We can defend this with, what, 4 queens, 17 Zerglings, a few more queens building. 1-1 upgrades are good. I don't think they're that good. I don't know. That ball of Marines is going to be nasty. DRG just needs numbers. He's going more queens, more Zerglings. If he can crush this push, maybe, just maybe, he can get back in it, but he doesn't see it. Oh, yet another push that he doesn't see until it's sieged up, and Byun is all over, and this is a really nice momentum-focused game 1 for Byun. And in an age where I've been criticizing Byun for being too predictable with this 2-Rax Reaper opening and doing it too often, DRG unfortunately doesn't handle it well enough, and we see why Byun keeps doing it, because it's so powerful. The Lings do get on top of those Marines and drag the fire. The Queens would eventually take care of the medevac. But once again, it's an amazing trade for Byun with only part of his army. Massive advantage behind it. And he crushes through game 1. All right, well, that was a kind of smashing game, wasn't it? That was actually ridiculous. That was a devastating victory there for Byun in game 1. Since this series was highly recommended, I hadn't seen any of that game. I came in later in the series and just saw a tiny bit of game 2 and game 3 when I was watching live, and I was doing something else at the same time. But that was a bop. That was Byun just all over DRG, start to finish. DRG definitely, you know, felt like just gave him a bit too much damage and then played a bit too greedy in the follow-up. No vision as well. I mean, I think if he even saw the move out when it left, he could have defended, but DRG slipping up. And Byun says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's going to do the exact same build again. And this is what I'm critical of, guys. He just does this too much. And this is so disrespectful to DRG to just think you can do the exact same build again and you're just going to get a massive lead again and run away. I mean, the thing is, obviously, he's not looking for a massive lead. He just likes the momentum and the control it gives him over the flow of the game. And he's probably happy as long as it breaks even. But the reason I don't like it is not because I think, oh, breaking even is not a good goal. I think breaking even, he'll be lucky to do that. You've just given DRG practice against this. Small map, the Overlord's going to see it straight away. He's not going to make the same mistakes as last game. You don't have that little extra ledge. All you've got is a tight ramp and this little tight jumping point. So 2X Reaper is naturally weaker on this map as well. On the other hand, advantage is his add-ons will be on the inside of his wall. I also think Byun will do a different follow-up. We'll probably see a 3rd command center follow-up. There's 3 different ways you can play it. You can play 3 racks follow-up into bio. You can play just off the 2 barracks straight into a 3rd command center and a factory and a starport, so it's like a double marine drop while being very economical. Or you can do that 4 racks that he just showed us in that last game, which is the very committed marine attack. That's a super duper committed attack. Already pulling off gas here, wants to prioritize minerals now that natural is open for mining. Beautiful timing on that, but oh, okay, he does tell the worker to return minerals. Good attention to detail for DongRaeGu. Overlord, of course, is seeing everything that's going on. He's building 2 queens, 4 zerglings. First Reaper's coming in, but notice, as it enters our screen from the right, the drone has already slipped by to that 3rd base. DRG is building 6 slings and an Overlord on 28 supply. It looks like he's planning to go 28 3rd hatchery. I actually feel you can delay the 3rd hatchery a little bit here, and it puts you in a bit of a better spot. He does start that 3rd hatchery while pulling his zerglings back. Good damage from the Reaper, though. Unfortunately for Byun, not able to get any kills. But as I said before, the queens are going to shut this down, man. Like, 2 queens here, lings up there. Very hard to find damage once that's set up. He sees the 3rd base. The Reapers are just going to try to slow down the creep spread. And, oh my, command center into factory. Factory before 3rd command center. So it looks like this might be... Actually, I don't know what this follow-up is. Because I feel like... I didn't realize you ever go factory before Tech Lab Reactor. Factory into 3rd command center. Interesting. Okay, so definitely with any 3cc build, your barracks are meant to idle a little bit. I just always thought it was Tech Lab Reactor, then you'd go for the factory, but we'll see. Maybe Byun's going to squeeze out some, like a Liberator or something a little bit earlier. He wants the factory to come up so he can get the Starport earlier. Reapers are still being very annoying. And he's kind of saying, you know, I don't think I need to worry about ling speed until 4 minutes. Zergs always delay ling speed, especially if they go fast 3rd and build like extra lings. There's no way. Oh, the Reaper's very greedy for Byun. Almost gets punished. 2 hit point Reaper there. At the end of the day, though, 3 Zerglings damaging the hatchery. Not the end of the world for DRG. He's got 2 bases up. His queens are covering. He gets the low hit point Reaper. Nice focus fire. And Byun's still trying to get in there, which is ridiculous. I mean, Byun is playing like your average ladder Terran who is floating 900 minerals behind it. Now, Byun's not got the floating of the minerals, but it is the same level of like try-hard Reaper micro where you're like, really? You did all this for 1 extra Zergling, but you ended up losing a Reaper because of it? Like, was it worth it? If it stresses your opponent out, affects their mentality, yeah, for sure. Ah, yeah, so it is for a quicker starport, guys. That's why he went in the fast track. He wants a Banshee. I think he's thinking maybe there'll be some counter-aggression on the ground. Banshee's going to be a pretty safe way of playing it, so it's not the worst idea. I don't... Oh, what? Raven? Oh my god, I didn't expect this. So he's going to use a... Normally we see Raven with Hellion. What's cool about this is he's going to go Raven with Medevac Marine. So the Raven might drop an auto turret or 2, try to kill some drones, and then he's going to have Marines going around cleaning up creep. But rather than having to use Scan, he's got the Raven with it. The problem I always find with the Raven opening with Hellions that we normally see is that Queens can beat both those units pretty easily. But Marines, a bit more of a dynamic problem, I'd say, to deal with, where if they're microed well, they can pick off Queens, Zerglings, all sorts of units. And having a Scan constantly with them is annoying. But the thing you want to keep your eyes on is, does he preserve the Raven? Because if not, it's not going to get that much value out of it. DRG sees it. Sees the Raven coming, should be well prepared. Already starts a Spore Crawler on the edge. That's going to stop the Raven from crossing over without getting shot a lot, which means there's no easy attack angle. Now, DRG wants to take his 4th base on the very bottom. Not a bad call. Just remember this spot. We always talk about Siege Tank there, Siege Tank here, and then just like they drop a few Marines and keep poking in. And if they bait you into attacking around these corners, you can't really get through a Siege Tank there with some Marines and Hellions guarding it. So it's a really scary position that Byun is no doubt looking to take advantage of. Shout out to DongRaeGu, though, for his amazing mineral focus. He's only now got a 2nd gas mining, otherwise 3 full mineral lines, and he is massing Zerglings with 1/1 upgrades. He's waiting for Byun to get over aggressive, and he's going to stomp on it. I think he's going to have so many extra Zerglings, he could do big backstabs as well. A slight supply block coming in for DRG if he doesn't build more Overlords, so he's only got 1 on the way. His Baneling Nest and Lair are quite late. Baneling Speed will be super late. Doesn't matter, though. If you have overwhelming Lings and Queens, you can just beat them with basic units. The Lings aren't really coming in from a clever angle by any means. And the Queens go a little bit off creep. Nice transfuses at the last second. Saves those Queens. Looks like 2 drones went down. The Raven coming in, being annoying. Queen definitely should try to sit on the edge to get hits on it. It does mean you might die to the auto turret, but better to make sure that Raven's punished every time he comes in there. Oh, great pull, though. Only losing 1 drone to that next auto turret and a bit of mining time. DRG is building a few more workers right now. I think just to replace these ones he's losing in the main base. He's also going up to 4 gases, which is fascinating. No drones on his 4th base just yet. If he builds drones or Zerglings next, tells us a lot about DRG's intentions in this game. If he builds nothing but Zerglings, he's probably going to split off a lot of Link Bane over here and try to backstab into that natural when Byun is attacking into him. You know, do a bit of the multi-prong, just have a giant standing army. He starts 2 more Lings. The Overlords are all popular. I was talking about that supply block. It's happened. +2 carapace, +2 melee, and Bane speed. Amazing upgrades for DongRaeGu. but he still does not have a good income. Only 62 workers versus the 61 of Byun. He's not really using the 4th. As I said though, big run by getting ready. If he gets up that ramp, that could win the game. That could win the game. Byun cannot raise the wall. He was about to build a depot outside as a spotter, but he doesn't get it in time. There's not even a wall here, which means the main is breached, and the natural and the 3rd. Every SCV needs to run right now. He mineral walks out of the natural very quickly. His whole army F2's home. His tanks are still left sitting on the map where they were sieged up, I guess. 7-8 SCVs will go down, which is not that many, but it's a lot of mining time as well. And DRG is going to try and take down the engineering bay if he can get +1 armor. All those Marines need to stim. They need to move up. They need to move up and save it. +1 armor is 1 second from finishing it. It gets denied. Oh, damn. Great move by DRG. Marines and tanks do get back there. It looks like 1 tank died on the retreat from the Zerg. The reactor going to go down in the main as well. Oh, he loses a bunch of add-ons. An engineering bay, 10 SCVs, and a ton of mining time. And most importantly, behind it, he's droned his 4th. He's up to 73 workers, which is still not a massive count, but on a small map, I like this proactive way of playing. Wait for the Terran to move out, and then just do a giant backstab. And then drone only after doing big damage to the Terran. That's what DRG's done. He's still playing, like I said, on that slightly lower worker count. A lot of players will build about 5 more workers there. And he's only playing 4 gas, which is Massling Bane. The Hive probably only used for upgrades, maybe Vipers since there's tank production. Potentially Ultras down the track, but he definitely can't afford too much of that. As you can see, he's got a very low gas count. And as he starts making more Banelings, that'll be tough. Triple drop in the north. Looks like that Raven just come back in, guys. Looks like that Raven is still there being a nuisance. The Queens could kill it, but it's, I guess, just on the edge of vision, and DRG's not paying attention right now. The drop is there. Triple drop in the main base. Queens could get good damage. If they can kill that medevac, that means it's a one-way trip for at least 8 of those Marines. But look, focuses a Queen down. Marines in a big ball, and just picks up at the last second. Gets out! Oh my god, 1 more Queen hit would have ruined his day. Or at least ruined the 8 Marines in the medevac's day. But you know what, guys? 2-1 upgrades. +2 attacks just started. +1 armor's not even finished yet for Byun. And 2-2 is finishing for DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu has a beautiful upgrade advantage. Does lose 4 more drones to the Raven. He's going to try and catch these Marines. Banelings get on top as well as the Zerglings, but the Marines pick up at the last second. The Hive about to finish for DRG. I'd like to see him transfer workers out of this main. Get that 5th base saturated. He's up on the 83 worker count, which is massive. He's got great creep spread on the south. Not much creep through the middle or the north of the map, though. DRG definitely tunnel vision. There wasn't that much pressure up here. He was just focusing on the bottom because he felt like this 4th base was the point of contention in this game. Now, the Raven is still alive, sitting in a place where a Queen can go over and just kill it. Like, it maybe has a tiny spot it can hide him, but 1 Queen there, and it goes down. DRG, I think, being a little lazy, not dealing with this like that. Like, he's doing good drone pulls, but I'd like to see him shut that down. Vipers and Adrenal Glands are on the way. Very important upgrades and spellcaster units to help out his comp. I think if DRG just A-moves Massling Bane, he wins the game. There's 2 tanks and 20 Marines at home, guys. There's 24 or about 20 Marines, 3 medevacs there, 8 Marines there. He just doesn't have enough units at home. There's no way this 4th base can be held onto. It is an orbital, so Byun can lift it off, but Byun does not have enough units at home right now to defend. The Massling Bane goes in. He splits some Lings onto those tanks on the left side, Lings onto the tank on the right, Lings onto all of the tanks. The Banelings are getting smashed by the tanks, but at the same time, the Lings have cleaned up all of those tanks now. The Liberator in the tank and the Natural trying to hang on. The Banelings blowing up that siege tank. That 3rd base gets boomed. The Marines are all coming home now. It feels like it's a little bit too late. These Banelings go after these SCVs. Lovely ring around the Rosie for Byun. Avoids the catastrophic damage that I thought he was going to lose another mineral line there. Oh, Lingbane's in the 3rd, though, getting another 10 SCVs, up to 41 workers killed. 2-2 versus 1-1 is a hell of an upgrade advantage. And Byun was just playing way too greedy in terms of being like, I can have half my army on the map dropping you and you're not going to do anything about it. And the thing is, the moment you stop actually actively fighting with those drops, the Zerg can just run across this small map, punish you really hard, and there was no attempt to counterattack. I don't know if there was Banelings at home or anything. If he did stim the drop in as a counterattack, could Byun have handled that? The thing is, it's so risky because he's got so much to handle in his base. If he goes and does that, he's not going to be able to watch it. It'll be stim, A-move, and just cross your fingers, blindly hoping there's no Banelings on creep. Because he doesn't have the APM to micro a defense in 3 of his bases and micro an attack of his own at the same time. Even Byun has his limits, mate. Marines and tanks here. Oh, Blinding Clouds are lovely. The Banelings getting close to those Marines. The Lib's trying to help out. There's just not that many Marines. And up on the top right, we've got Ling Bane coming in there as well. Byun is just overrunning that game, and DRG, ever since that first giant Zergling backstab, Byun was not happy with that game. DRG tying up the series. All right, we got a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Byun in the top left, left, and of course DRG in the bottom right. Now, for those who don't know, as I said earlier, like lots of GSL replays are available, all of them. Would you like to see me cast the entire tournament? Let me know in the comments. I don't think I will. I think I will stick to my current format of let's just cast the best games possible, like the exciting matches, and maybe the top 4 or the top 8 I'll cast all of, which I think would be pretty fun, right? Even if 1 or 2 of those is a bit of a bop, I think it's more interesting at that point because there's a bit more stakes. Whereas here in the group stage, definitely a few more one-sided matchups. This is, for those who don't know, the deciding match of this group, which means Maru already got out first place, I believe, in this group. I think this was Maru's group, and these guys are fighting for that second spot. So they've both already lost a series to someone else in the group. I think Byun beat DRG in a match before this one, and it was rather one-sided. You can tell DRG, even after that game 1 being rough, he's got a bit of pep in his step. He played a really good style, not just letting Byun be the guy who's acting and choosing when and where the fights happen, but actually backstabbing him and saying, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Come on, man. That's a very quick gas, guys. He went gas before putting this 16th worker on minerals. It's like 3 seconds earlier than normal. Who knows? Maybe DRG just likes to take that slightly faster. Not quite sure. It does go for the spawning pool right on time, and he'll rally these next 3 workers on gas. This is what I'm talking about with Byun doing the same build too much. Now, what's funny is I feel like gas pool is meant to get way ahead versus this opening, especially in these spawns. DRG hasn't done it at all. Ragnarok, I feel, gets way ahead versus Byun in most of their matches. Ragnarok's a very clever player. He's very strategic. He just can't keep up with Byun's pace, so sometimes Byun just out-multitasks him and wins anyway. But the reason that's important is I think as a guy like DongRaeGu, you should be studying Ragnarok and saying, I'm probably a bit better than Ragnarok. I know Ragnarok's fast, but like he falls apart a lot more in tactical situations than a lot of the other players. So I really do feel like he's a guy you should all be studying on how to dismantle a predictable Byun who keeps doing the same thing over and over again. And so far, DRG apparently says, no, last game was fine. Didn't you see, Pig? Shut him down with Hatch first. Game 1 was the anomaly. It's not going to happen again. Command Center goes down behind. 2 more Reapers building behind this one. Let's see if this first Reaper can pick off some Zergs. He didn't sneak a drone out. DRG is going to go 4 Queen this time. He's going to have to mine out these gold minerals to try and take that linear third. But this is a different response. I think his response went fine last game. I guess this map's a little harder. There's a bigger ledge in the main, and you don't have a ramp on the natural, so the Reapers can bounce in and out a lot more. Third barracks is on the way in the main base. Byun's doing the aggressive follow-up. I don't know which aggressive follow-up, but it's at least a 3 racks. Could be a 4 racks. Queen does get an inject down. He's taking quite a few hits. The Lings come forward. Don't want to throw away the Lings, but you also want to throw away all your Queen hit points. And he's gone double inject. Yeah, he's gone 4 Queen. So 4 Queen is nice, but he's got to start mining those minerals open on the left. And he forgot to build Overlords. Oh, guys, if you ever play a 2-base 4 Queen opening, you want to make sure you start your Overlord at like 25, 26 supply, 28 at the latest. If you don't start it there, you get a big supply block on 36. And those 4 drones being delayed might not seem like a lot, but the thing is your 3rd base is very delayed, so you need to make sure you drone your 2 bases up very quickly. This is a fundamental mistake in the build order for DongRaeGu, and you can tell he's not as experienced with the 4 Queen follow-up. He's still not mining those gold minerals open either. He's got a pretty quick link speed out now, but losing a Queen, I think more than enough. Byun would have been unhappy about losing the Reaper, but now killing a Queen for it, he's got to be happy with that. Lings with link speed going after these Reapers, and Reapers try for the Dukey Duke, but can't juke those Zerglings, man. They're hungry. And they take down all 3 Reapers. 3rd hatchery goes down behind this. Back on gas for DRG. He's got nowhere else for his workers to mine. He's already fully saturated on minerals, so he can stack up and triple up on those patches, but that's about it. Bunker trying to build on the outside. That's cute. All right, that's going to get focused down. I mean, he's trying to protect Stim with it, right? He's saying, ugh, but he gets denied, so he can't do it. He's playing 4 racks. The Bunker sells a story of defensive mindset. You know what, guys? That really makes it look like Byun is playing very scared, but Byun's actually got 4 racks. He would love for DRG to commit to some aggression, try and get the Stim. As long as he doesn't lose Stim right before it finishes, Byun's going to have an abundance of Marines. And once again, DRG is going double Evo, once again in the natural, which I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. 3rd hatchery is almost finished, and double upgrades, it's not bad. He can defend, but he's got to see the attack when it moves out. Once again, he's got a bit of Overlord vision there, but not that much. He does have a Ling on the left side. These Marines technically could sneak past without DRG seeing it, and if that happens and he loses from being surprised again by an attack, he's not going to be happy. Oh, look at that. Sends just 4 Marines. He's like, oh, it's just 4 Marines. Just totally chilled out. DRG's going to replace that Zergling. Does he see it, though? Zerglings have very low sight range. He barely sees it. Hopefully he noticed. DRG, wake up. He didn't notice. He did not notice. DRG, okay, luckily he sees the Marines now. Byun is going with a big 4x attack. We've got 5 queens out, 2 more buildings. He's going to have 7 queens. He's going to bring every queen to the front. Notice DRG immediately scrambles those queens. He's also got 1-1 upgrades on the way. Spine Crawler is building right now at that 3rd base. More Zerglings. He's up 16 workers. If he can shut down this attack, this is good. And I'm a little surprised Byun isn't showing much urgency. It feels like he showed his Marines a few times, and he's kind of meandered his way over here. 22 Marines with Stim and Shields is still a scary force. But notice how DRG is being patient with the queens. The moment he stims, you gotta just run away. Put a creep tumor down. Nice. Byun's not gonna risk it, but Byun's down 16 workers. This is really good for DRG. He's got double upgrades. Lair and Baneling Nest is super late. He's very distracted, and that is a problem. He does cancel the spine, takes a 4th hatchery. Byun's going Starport Engineering, but wait, still no 3rd command center? I don't know about this one, Byun. He's got 3 reactors and 1 tech lab. He swapped the factory and the barracks around. I mean, is he going to go 5 racks on 2 base? He could still drop a 3rd command center now, and it's not the end of the world, but he's definitely committing to a 2 siege tank timing by the looks of it. Some sort of big 2 base push. And if DRG can squeeze out basically no more drones, if he does nothing, just makes Zergling Baneling from here, 58 drones is the perfect number. 3 mineral lines, just a couple gases mining. You can make so much Ling Bane off this. I would say a 3rd gas is usually a good idea, just so you can make a few more Banelings and start your 2-2 as well, because otherwise you can't start 2-2. He's making 14 Banelings at home. Yeah, DRG, more gas is required. He's oversaturated on his natural and his 3rd by 2 workers on each. I think this is a little bit of a slip up from DRG to not add gases. On the other hand, he's still got 1-1 verse +0. So I'm like, he's not pushing his upgrade advantage as hard as he could. That's my whole criticism. He could be further ahead. The Lings are not going to do it as a backstab. If he had Banelings to blow up the wall, that could work. But he's going to need Ling Bane to flank from both sides. Look at that. He set it up. DRG set it up. He's got Ling Bane on both sides. 1 on the top right, 1 on the left. Byun has not seen it. Byun does not know about that army that's going to collapse in from the left. But wait, it's not even going to collapse from the left. It's going to come in from behind, which is even better. Oh, me, oh my. Byun's walking into a bit of a trap right now. DRG is very calmly setting this up. DRG seems to have perfectly read the game, even without scouting it. He is ready right now. The Queen's skirmishing with those Marines and tanks. He's going for it. But the Banelings and Lings are both coming in from the same angle. He should have had some units coming from the right behind those Queens. He does get rid of the tanks immediately, so it's still very good. But the Marines are able to kite their way to a decent trade. That's something you got to be careful about as a Zerg player. Taking out the tanks is splendid. Ooh, gets a few of those Marines. This is a good trade for DRG, man. DRG's building 6 more workers. He still isn't taking more gases, which is a bit of an issue. He's going to go for the tank. No, no, no. No, DRG. Oh, I mean, seeing a tank exposed looks exciting, but it had like 20 Marines behind it, and the tank gets a massive 10 Baneling shot. DRG throws away so many Banelings. Oh, no. DRG, I thought he had this game in the bag. Now he's back up against the ropes. He's still got equal army supplies somehow, and he's still up a 1 upgrade. He's got 1-1 versus just +1. He's also got his +2. Carapace squeezed in. He's mixing in Ling Bane. He still hasn't taken more gases. Just tons of Zerglings, which is, I think, very good versus tanks to not have too many Banelings, but he's still scraping the bottom of that gas barrel, and just 2 gas is very dangerous. He's going to need to be super backstab focused, and look, Byun's aware of that. Byun's making him look like he's pushing to the front, but he's not. He keeps tucking these siege tanks in these disgusting little tank corners, and as the Ling Bane comes in, it's going to encounter a real spread. Oh, he's going to corner him. Byun's going to corner him. Look at that. He says, "You can't leave, idiot. How dare you go to the top right of the map, you silly boy." Byun's trying to set his tanks up so there's no way out. The Marines are going to close in on that. Byun's too clumped. He should have split his army half-half. If he lets these Lings and Banes out, that is a bit of a mistake for him. DRG's going to come up and join this. Oh, he's going to go for the Bane. He gets a good Baneling. Gets 1 good Baneling. Pulls back just in time. Loses a few more Banes to the tanks. I really want to see him go around the left and hit that natural. DRG's going around the left now. He's at least intercepting the rally, which is huge. I think if you can just sandwich from 2 sides, as DRG, you could probably do this, but he's low on Banelings. He's going to be at 70 Zerglings, 15 Banes. His army goes in, forces the tank and Liberated to kind of siege at home for a moment. I want to see Ling Bane from multiple sides. Notice DRG is all of his units will attack down this ramp with where he's set up. I've seen a real backwards slide with some players' ability to set up surrounds. And look at this, DRG's clumping his whole army on one angle. That's not what you want to do. Half his army should be going to the watchtower, the other half on this side, unless he's planning to just give this base up. But he's clumping it all up in one angle. DRG, I really feel that he should have kept his army split on two sides. It's just always going to be better with Massling Bane to be attacking from two sides. He's running back and forwards. I think he's just decided to give up this base, which is fine. He's got a base on the left. He doesn't need that base. He's still on 4 bases after losing that against a 2-base Terran. I mean, Byun is so desperate right now, and I think DRG made the right call. Even though I don't like him keeping his army clumped, just give up ground. Oh, he's going to go for it. He's attacking around a corner. Terrible spread from DRG on the north. Very few Banelings on the south to deal with the Marines. He has the numbers, though, so it might not matter. DRG goes for the break, takes out all the tanks. About 20 Marines get saved. All the medevacs get saved. The Liberator gets saved. I think that was a really good trade for Byun. Byun's at 2-1 units lost. Even though he's been mining way less this whole time, he now joins up more Marines and tanks. He's going to go again. I can't believe DRG just had his whole army clumped here to attack an army that's there. That's attacking around a corner. This is something... In theory, this is like a fundamental thing you should know as a Zerg player is never to do that. I'm being very critical of DRG, but let's be real, he's done a few things fantastically as well. I don't want to hate on him too much. It's a very hard push to deal with because Byun does move forward very quickly. We've got to give credit where it's due. Byun keeps shifting where his tanks and libs are, so what used to be a surround isn't a surround a few seconds later. He's also defending all backstabs on his natural with that wall off so well. A queen goes down, but a few of these libs should fall as well. That tank nestled behind him is such a nightmare to deal with. I think this could be an easy collapse though. If those units just attack from this side, and he attacks with Summoning Bane there, Summoning Bane over there. A 3-prong surround would be great, but DRG has been so focused on attacking from just 1 or 2 sides. Here we go. He's going to go for it. Banelings coming in, but he needs Zerglings to get on top of that tank. Nice links around. Nice links around for DRG, but only one Baneling got in there. Other Banelings coming forward, they don't quite connect. The tank does go down, though. Byun saving those units. You know what, guys? Byun might just be gassing out. He's having to lift his main to his third, which means he's way more wide open to this. He's still trading fantastically well at close to 2-1 resources lost in favor of Byun. DRG in the negative there. DRG got a third gas up, which I love. He was scraping the bottom of the barrel on the gas. He's still up an upgrade right now. He's going to be up 2 upgrades when +2 melee finishes in 10 seconds, which is massive. He's got to keep sending these backstabs around, though, these flanking forces, and do what he can with them. Lib's going to come in. Sporecrawler says, no way, mate. He's going to have to float around the left side. Sporecrawler quickly repositions, as do the Liberators. Good reactive micro from both sides. DRG is still massing queens. Now, this is something a lot of players like to mass queens because it buys time against these sort of pushes, but when you hit a critical mass of units, the queens fall off quite hard. Problem for Byun. Byun doesn't have +2 even on the way. And yeah, he's got a lot of Marines, but I mean, those queens are still a big sponge. I think 16 is the upper limit. It's the absolute max you want to go to. Lings get a nice surround on the tanks. The Banelings and Lings are coming forward. The Marines are forced backwards. DRG is just going to evict him from this position. He says, pick up or die. Pick up or die. Byun, what the hell? How the hell did Byun know that he could stay there? He did lose a bunch of Marines towards the end, but guys, that was a crazy move. Oh no. Oh no, Byun's third. He can't lose these SCVs. It's so important, but he's got a tank. Oh my god, that tank with all the Marines there. This little funnel he creates, that is such a disgustingly good position. He's even got a backup wall behind it. The triple drop goes around. It ends up coming back. Byun's got a double live down the right side as well. Oh my god. The fact that Byun kept stutter stepping when he had about 50 Zerglings and Banelings on his army on that left side, that was the sort of crazy move where anyone else picks up and leaves or they lose all their Marines. Byun somehow only loses a handful of Marines. That ability to recognize what he can do and micro his way out of those situations, that is why we call him Unstoppable when he's on a roll. Oh, there's Marines in a corner. He gets the last Baneling. You cannot fight Marines in a corner like that. Oh no, DRG was on the brink of taking him out, and now Byun, yes, his Liberators finally get defended by the Queens, but that positioning, and this map is famous for these little corners where people plug these tanks into these corners, and using the Marines in the corners as well, something we haven't seen anyone else use to the same level we're seeing Byun use it. I mean, he used to do this on Data C as well in the previous map pool. He was so good at finding those little nooks and crannies. He'd wedge those Marines in and he'd say, you know, your guys are hand-to-hand fighters. And the Zergs would be like, yeah, what's your point? And he's like, they don't have range. They're melee. And they're like, so? He's like, all right, I'm going to squeeze 60 Marines into a corner, shoot down your only splash damage units, and 80% of your army is going to be stuck behind the rest of it, just Zerglings standing there waiting for their turn to charge in and get shot down before they even land a hit. Disgusting play by Byun. DRG is hanging on by a thread right now. He's still up double upgrades, which makes him feel like he should be winning these fights. But the fact that Byun has always got the forward position, look at this, he's now evicting DRG from the mining, at least temporarily on that base. Double drop goes around the top. 16 Queens now down to 10 are running around willy-nilly. He's going to lose a new hatchery on the left side, up to 5 bases, or back down to 5 bases as DRG. Byun is still mining 2 bases, but it's a fresh new base each time, and that's what's important The double drop goes in behind the third. He's going to unload, but the Zerglings did get on top, especially with the double upgrades. Double eBay Armory coming in. Be honest, this is Byun's specialty. The ability to be so far behind on upgrades and economy, keep taking good fights, and then slowly, sluggishly work your way towards those upgrades in economy only after everything else has gone wrong. He's going to pick up a drop with the Queens. One of the medevacs went down with a lot of Marines inside. The Queens are taking out the Liberators. Is it enough Queens? Oh, it's not enough Queens. He needs Spore Crawlers. DRG, put it back in your pants. Put it back in your pants. No, you need to pull out, mate. You need to pull out. He's going to get one more lib there, I believe, if he focuses it. He does get one more lib. But he's got to pull back. He's got to move Spore Crawlers over here. But there's a double drop in the main at the same time. Oh, no. Byun's done it. That's it. That's it, guys. I mean, okay, there's enough Banelings. He can't focus them all down. A few of them go down to the Banes. That was crazy damage, though. Looks like Byun actually lost Marines on that left as well. Oh, he's got a new army. It doesn't matter. New army's coming forward. Byun the 2-base king. He's got vehicle weapons, +2/2, bio attack and armor. And Hydras are up. Hydras, I don't think Hydras are ever the saving grace in this scenario. I really feel it's backstabbing over and over again and dancing around and flanking your opponent. But whenever they're able to just stutter back like this in a big ball, you get punished. So it's a constant, frustrating, hard to do. But I think you need to set up those sandwiches perfectly from both sides. And I do think DRG had a great setup earlier, and then he panicked and F2'd or clumped his whole army back up on one key. I think when he did that was when he slipped up in a big way, because it was a minute or so after that when his army on one key all attacked from here around this corner in big clumps, getting smashed. Oh, good Ling run by. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. Oh, those SCVs. The tank is actually walling it off. So when he mineral walked, the SCVs could not move through. He misplaced the tank. He meant to leave a single space gap next to the tank so the workers could get in and out. But by completely walling it off, it actually trapped those workers. They couldn't mineral walk back because they just kind of said, oh, well, we can't move through the tank. We might as well stack up here. The Marines and the tanks are still moving forward, up 20 army supply. When 2-2 finishes, that's going to be a big shift in his favor. This is going to look really, really good for Byun. Because those upgrades, man, that's been the one thing holding him back. You're up in army supply and upgrades, it'll change everything. Going to 15 Hydralisks. Hydras are not efficient at attacking into giant Marine tank spreadies. I don't think ever. So I've always disagreed with the Hydra transition from this scenario. If anyone has any famous games or you know, top pro matches where you've seen the Zerg make Hydras and it turns around the situation against this sort of push, please let me know. Link it up in the comment section. And I'll love to take a look. But I feel like I always see it when they're already losing, and then they go Hydras, and the Hydras are just so expensive, so fragile. You spend all this money on their upgrades, and they don't really do much. The Lingbane Hydra is going to come in. They actually will kill these tanks pretty quick. Okay, the Hydras were really good there. He needs to pull back and make more Banes, though. That's too many Marines. Pull back and make more Banes, DRG. DRG just crushed his army. Okay, just when I poop on the Hydras, I literally... Okay, guys, we have the pro match right here. Those Hydras just turned that around. They killed the tanks and libs so quickly, which the Lings weren't able to ever do. That is a game changer, but where is Banelings? Where is extra Zerglings? He chased a little bit too far. I think the Hydras can still take this out, though. Those Marines are way too damaged. Byun is known for being overly aggressive. He's going to keep trading. Hydras... Oh, another 15 Marines arrive. Get out of there, DRG. Run, run, run. But a Ling flank and a Baneling on the left side. Oh, big Baneling lands. Those Marines do pick up. Those two Marines in the backside get 6 drones, though. DRG is under pressure right now. How is this still so close? I really thought Byun with the 2-2 was going to win. I don't know. Did DRG fight just before his 2-2 finished? I'll have to check the replay. I think Byun had 2-2. It was just a good angle for DRG. DRG's got 12 workers on the right side, 17 on the left. Oh, man, I thought Byun was going to bring this back, but now he's out of minerals. He's lost that. Remember, he lost all the workers there. He can lift out and keep mining with effectively 1-base mining, maybe a little more than that. As long as DRG keeps some mining up and just defends this one last pack, he'll be good. Oh, there's 2 tanks. I didn't see those tanks. DRG needs to run away. Oh, but if he loses this base on the right, that's so important. He's got Lings on the back. He needs to bring those in on the siege tanks while the Hydra Baneling deals with the Marines. There's only 2 medevacs left, but those tanks! Those tanks! Oh no, those tanks! Oh no, those tanks! He didn't know they were there. Finally, the Lings get on top of them. But look at this amazing fight for Byun, kiting his way backwards. Oh my god, he loses the tanks though. There's enough Lings trickling in. I think DRG might have done it. Another wave of Marines comes. Every time I say I think DRG might have done it, the reinforce arrives and you realize there's more Terran than you thought on the map. Baneling's morphing, but so few of them. Oh no. Oh, the stim's gonna run out. He uses another stim. These Marines down to 35 hit points. The tank is there. The drones are pulled. Every time you make him waste his stim, it's really helping you out. These medevacs have no juice. The Ling's dragging tank shots towards the Marines a little bit. Byun targets it on those Hydras to make sure that stops happening. The Hydra Bane trying to take this out. The drones are in the battle, but the Marines stimming literally like desperate drug addicts right now, just trying to get that last fix. The tank will go down before it fires. The Hydra's taking out that and the medevac. Big overextension for Byun just when I thought he was on the edge of victory. He overcommits, but DRG chases up the ramp. No, DRG, turn and fight. You gotta turn and fight. Oh my God. DRG cannot afford to lose Hydras. He lost 14 drones. He's down to 25 workers. He's down to 25 workers. He pulled too many drones, guys. He's got 14 workers there and a few workers. He's moving to this right side. He needs a crushing battle to do this. Oh, or a Ling run by to kill the last vestiges of Byun's economy. Either one of those will work. He's still got a base in the bottom right. DRG's got to be real careful. Those Marines are a problem. Ling's coming in, going to grab a few SCVs. Byun will, of course, shove in as a result of that. He's got 2 new medevacs healing these Marines. Great stutter step. The tank in the back, an absolute menace. These positions for Byun have just been disgusting. DRG has nothing left. Holy crudsicles. That was an exciting game. I love this sort of game. Byun has this magical quality to look dead and bring it back, and look dead and bring it back, and it's just absolutely wonderful to behold. GG, well played, Byun.